a cold morning, I must say, around here, but hoping you're fine. And of course, many would say, but Robert, we don't expect this kind of weather in February because, you know, our rainy seasons, March to May, then we have August to December. January, February are usually, more so January, a dry month, which we didn't have actually. Now, February equally, it seems it's going to be raining. Today being the 15th, we are halfway, and you still see that it's raining. I don't know what tomorrow will hold and the other days. So you must be prepared that anytime it can shower, it can rain, cats and dogs in this beautiful pearl of Africa. Welcome to The Extra. I'm Robert Chirabo Nyonyintono, and with me I have a guest, one of the ladies in a profession that was predominantly for men, and here she is saying, I want to lead the institute that brings together qualified engineers in this country, and that is the Uganda Institution of Professional Engineers. Now, many a times when we've had buildings collapse, when we've had construction work having issues, we always hear this Institute of Professional Engineers come on board to examine what went wrong, and they usually come up with a report. But also unfortunate is if there is any other profession where you've had so many quacks, away from the media where everyone now believes he's a journalist, away from medicine where people introduce themselves, I'm Dr. Mutula Kungo. Another profession actually is the engineering profession. A person who just comes at a site and delivers bricks. After doing that for some time, he's termed engineer, engineer, and he moves around the village with the title engineer. What is your engineer, engineer. So also, them they have had the pinch that we have. You know, most of the times when I'm moving around, I go to, I'm with the Batu Gambia, meaning journalists told us, and when you look, you ask, what was the source? Pressure. But you people get real. Now, when you look for, I'm a doctor, then a doctor, but also engineers. Yeah. We have many of those that will come to your building and you say, I have my site engineer. And the man tells you, I began this as a porter at 16 years. I became a fundi. They have their terms. Now, as we speak, I'm an engineer and I've worked on a number of buildings. Never gone to any school. But join me, welcome engineer Nsimire Annette, who happens to be an independent consultant. She's an electrical engineer and telecommunication. And here she is this morning as we are going to be discussing how do we ensure that the engineering profession stays ahead of the curve. Now, between 8th and 15th of March, they're going to be having elections for the president of the Uganda Institute of Professional Engineers, where she is contesting. Most welcome. Good morning, engineer.
Good morning, Robert, and good morning, our viewers. I'm happy to be here this morning to join you as we dissect the issues of engineering.
Now, to begin with, for sure, help our viewer understand who is an engineer, because we have so many than what is actually in the register.
Okay, thanks, Robert. Who is an engineer? An engineer, I can say, is someone who is creative enough, who is a problem solver. But in our terms as Uganda Institution of Professional Engineers, when we come to define an engineer, we define an engineer as someone who has the relevant knowledge, skills, and competencies to demonstrate engineering principles. So the people you talked about on site where they may have some level of skill, but they are not competent enough or qualified enough to call themselves engineers. So it's the title sometimes which is misused, but for us to qualify you as an engineer, you have to have a degree in engineering, you have to go through assessment and be registered by the Engineers Registration Board of Uganda. Yeah.
Now let me get this because personally encountered this when my young brother finished, and he was a civil engineer from the university. But then he said he doesn't have the right to call himself an engineer until he has been registered. That I didn't understand till when he finally came, I think after a period of 3 years, and said, now I'm a full engineer. I asked him then, why were we giving an arm and a leg to pay for you, and why were we celebrating after you left university? We had a party as an engineer, and then you're telling me 3 years after is when you're saying you're now a full engineer. I've not heard that you've gone back to upgrade or anything like that.
Thanks, Robert. I think your brother is even very lucky that after 3 years, he became a full engineer and used the title engineer. Because as per our registration process to become an engineer, you first, after university, you become a graduate member, then you are a pupil under mentorship. Then after you finishing that period, you actually start writing a technical report and your career report. And then if after assessment you are found that you have demonstrated engineering principles and you can represent the institution very well, then you are registered.
Actually,
so I don't know where your brother
period very well, to be honest. I don't remember that period very well, but I was just estimating.
Okay.
It could have been much longer than that. But he also told me that the process is so tedious. He said, Bob, being an engineer, what I've gone through, not many manage the process. Why do you make it that hectic for these people? They have finished their university. They simply, you know, what is the essence and why do they, because it took him a lot, I don't remember the actual period, but a lot, and he would, more like he's doing dissertations, he was looking at what is happening. Why do you make it that hectic?
Bob, thank you. I want to say to our viewers and the engineering professionals out there that actually many people have complained that the process is tedious. And it's one of the things as a presidential candidate, and if I become your president, I feel we need to review on that process, because this is a process which is, I can say, in the act of the, which act is actually very old, of 1969, of engineers, the Engineering Professional Act. But we have a bill also under Parliament, and I believe these are some of the issues that should be reviewed, because just like you've said, even me, like I told you, I've been an engineer, but the period since I registered is not wrong, but yet I was working. But I want to say that these are issues we need to review, because even me, when I compare to like doctors, you finish university, you're already a doctor, but for you to practice, you go for that internship for 1 year and you are good to go. You start practicing your medicine. So I think even us, what we should be looking at today is you have finished your bachelor's degree after 4 years. Do you really need 4 years to be registered? Is it in today's world where things are dynamic, the world is moving so fast?
Yet you're actually working.
Yes, you're already working. So after working for 1 year, probably you should register. But this is something I cannot say I'm the one to decide. But I feel if it comes out clearly with justification, the bill as it is being, it's a bill under Parliament, as it is being, the act is being drafted and so on. These are some of the things that should be looked into on how do we make this process less tedious for our membership. Now because I think it has hindered registration. As I said, the Uganda Institution of Professional Engineers didn't allow me to talk about it, but let me talk about it. I was
just coming to that, just that I had a very exciting opening of why so many out there masquerading, causing buildings to fall, and then why so many out there, yes, they have qualified through universities, but they can't have the title and maybe benefits that come along with registered engineers. No wonder very few young lads you'll find, and because some people would require this, they'll ask you, are you registered? Told me that's why I had to do so much to get there. They want to give you serious business. You must be certified by this institution. So that's why I had first to move into that. So let's look at what this institution actually is.
Yeah. Uganda Institution of Professional Engineers is a body which was formed in 1972. It's coming to 52 years old. And it is to bring together all engineering professionals. Let's not narrow down our discussion to engineers. Our professionals, our membership has engineers, technicians, and technologists. So it's a body that brings all of us together. And our mission is to nurture and promote excellence in the science and practice of engineering in Uganda. So we are it's a membership of engineering professionals who are willing to promote engineering excellence in this country. So we would want I can say ideally, all engineering professionals are supposed to be members of that institution, so that they are well regulated. And this one we have talked of everyone calling himself an engineer, so that it is removed. All those people who call themselves engineers, you know what you are talking about. Sometimes people are not the engineers, but they claim to be. So it's really that mix that tends to tarnish our image. But us who are the members, who are registered, I think we are doing a good job in this country.
Briefly, I'm interested to know about your career journey. When you talk about registered engineers that come together, so how did you make a breakthrough, more so in this profession that was predominantly a male profession?
It's a very interesting question. Yeah, because I want to tell you it's really male dominated. And even today, our membership is mostly men. So as a young girl, I wanted to become an engineer. And for me, I don't know, the only setback I was getting in school is maths is for boys. There was that stereotype that maths is for boys. Yet I was good in math and I wanted to become an engineer. So when I started my journey, I started with a diploma. One of the privileged people who have started from down, going up the ladder.
And someone tells you any person in a profession who began from down, when they reach the top, they're the best.
Yeah, that's why I started. I did a diploma in 1994 from Uganda Technical College Bushenyi. I went up, I did a higher diploma from Uganda Polytechnic Chambogo from 1999 to 2001. I moved on to do a bachelor's from Chambogo. So that's why I say I am electrical and telecommunication engineer, because my two diplomas are in electrical engineering. Then when I went for bachelor's, I did telecommunication engineering. And that's how but also I have a postgraduate diploma in project planning and management and a master's in management studies from UMI, but focusing on project planning and management.
That's why you're a consultant.
Yes.
An independent consultant in this.
So if I tell you about my career journey, as a technician, I worked in Umeme, in UEDCL, that's why I started. Then I moved on to work in Umeme when Umeme came in 2005. Then when I finished my bachelor's in 2009, in 2010, I was promoted to engineer. So I worked in Umeme until I left in 2022. But before I left Umeme, I can say I started on my journey as a consultant. When I was in Umeme, after my master's, I lectured in Uganda Technology and Management University. It's in Kiswabugolo before 4 years. As a lecturer, I was lecturing postgraduate students. And one of the assignments they gave me that gave me the confidence I have today is when I said I want to join them to lecture, they wanted to introduce a new course called Infrastructure Planning and Management. They told me, Annette, since you're an engineer, could you help us develop content for this course? I took it and I developed content, and up to today, it's the content they still use, even after I resigned that job and left them. But I also started, like I said, I started on my consultant's journey. I've worked with different consulting firms to carry out local government performance assessment. It's done annually, started in 2018. I was among the pioneers. and I did it on for 4 years consecutively up to 2020. But I've also done consultancy with international organizations, Royal Academy of Engineering, UK. I'm among their reviewers for African grants, professional engineering institutions. I also do consultancy with Red Arrow UK, where we train engineering professionals in humanitarian skills for engineers. Yes.
Well, with that rich background, now one would ask, what are you bringing on table for this institution that we see plays a very vital role, and more so when you have so much infrastructure development in our country right now, because we are on set to ensure that we transform this country when it comes to issues of infrastructure. Every now and then roads are being constructed. We are having unique new buildings of new architecture designs. There is so much construction work. There is so much in the field of engineering. So what brings you on table at such a time?
Thank you so much. I want to tell the engineering professionals who are viewing today, and those who will maybe have a chance to review, that my unique experience and diversity of my experience is what I bring on the table. Why? Because as I understand very much the diversity of our membership. We have technicians, we have technologists, we have engineers. I've served in all those capacities. So I understand their needs, I understand the opportunities they have. But also for the short time I've been on council, I've been able to understand the opportunities we have as an institution and as engineering professionals, and also the challenges we have. For example, the opportunities we have, like you said, our country is developing in infrastructure, and there is no infrastructure or any sector of government where there is no input of an engineering professionals. Even in medical today, we have biomedical engineers, yes, who never used to be there. These biomedical engineers are making a big difference in the medical world in terms of diagnosis, in terms of, the implants, the equipment, you know, they are making a big difference. Every sector of this economy, in education, we have engineers who are constructing these buildings or classrooms, whatever. We have engineers who manage those laboratories, computer engineers. Technology is moving so fast. So you find in every sector of this of our economy, we have engineering professionals, and we need them. So we have that opportunity which no one else has, where we have really a big advantage towards other professionals. Today we are talking of climate change. You are the one who started by telling us how this is not supposed to be a dry season. But we are experiencing a lot of rains. We've experienced drought. We've experienced floods. But whenever something of that nature happens, you find it is the engineers to restore the services. We've had the floodings in Mbara, and people say they never used to be there. The industrial park is flooded, what. But who should put the things right? The drainage system, or whatever the planning. So the advantage we have is that, but I want to call upon the government to utilize us, to make good use of us. Because there is no way that we are going to grow our country without the engineers in the equation. You can't remove us from the equation.
The Institute of Uganda Institute of Professional Engineers, you have a building collapse, God forbid, let it not happen. Then their government refers to you very vividly because they want to assess and find out were the right iron bars used, were the right quantities of cement, the foundation. There's so much, and they run nowhere else but to this institution.
Yes, so that's what I'm saying. The government needs us. Actually, I think the law says the government is supposed to consult us. So government needs us, and we need government too. If you allow me to talk about my manifesto later, I'll tell you how we intend actually to engage our government, to make sure we put things right in our country, to make sure we grow. There is no economy which has grown without the engineering input. So it is a fact that we have that strength, and let's utilize it. Let the government also make use of us. They train us for 4 years in the university. Then you find engineers are roaming around the streets. That thing, I think, it's also another area where government should consider. Why do doctors get pressed in hospitals? Even when you study from a university where the medical council is questioning, you come to Ministry of Health and you are pressed in a government hospital to do intern for 1 year and you are deployed as a doctor. Why isn't it happening? We have so many projects of government, infrastructure projects. We have so many, government has come up with these PDM, Parish Development Models. We are talking of solving the local challenges. Engineers, we are problem solvers. Why are we not included in the PDM projects? To see, like I said, a disaster happens. We have places like the other day, was it in Lyantonde, in Rwengo, in Western Uganda, in Isinjilo, where it becomes so hot that people, the plants dry up. Drought is killing people. Yet there are days like today where we are wasting water. It is raining and water is just sweeping and we are talking of floods now killing people. Why are we not utilizing our engineering skills to harvest that water so that in the days of scarcity we use that water? We can benchmark from other super countries which have developed and see, because we always have a lot of water being wasted. So are we doing enough? So we as engineering professionals, we really call upon government to listen to our people, to find to work with us so that we have that training structured, so that we have engineering professionals involved in government projects, and also it will be one way of making our engineers more innovative. You know, engineering is a profession where you don't go in classroom and learn and it's enough. You must acquire skills. You need knowledge, you need skills, like I said, and you need competence. For you to get those skills, you must have exposure. So if I'm exposed, I'm a civil engineer and I work on a road construction project, then the skills I acquire from there can help me even to start my own firm, can help me to be a consultant and transition, even leave government job. But if we continue now to allow the foreigners, I'm not against foreigners, to come and do jobs which our engineering professionals here can do, I don't think we are doing a good service to our people.
Because
those are some of the
we are
pain
told
points of our
sometimes you
people.
lack the ability to do this.
No, we have the ability. There is no engineering professional who is not intelligent. I want to tell you I'm very intelligent, and I believe the rest are. You cannot do engineering. You also know. Every child who is doing well in school by default becomes an engineer or a doctor. So what does it mean? They have the intellect.
Sciences weren't that very easy.
So if we can do the sciences, then we have the capacity to grow the skills. It's a matter of exposure. Let these people...
I don't know any school where a science class has more than those in arts.
And
if it's not half of the, of the total streams of those doing arts.
That is true.
So sciences are not...
So if someone can do engineering, whether at diploma level, like where I started
the
from,
mathematics there.
whether it is at degree level, you have the intellect. You are intelligent enough. You are a genius. You can... Excuse me. Engineers, we are geniuses. We are problem solvers. What we lack is that exposure of skills, so that we get our... So my call to government is, let's have structured way of nurturing these skills. We have the skills. Or if at all that skill is lacking in our country, I will not say we have all the skills, because learning never stops. Even me at my age and with my years of experience, I am still learning. So we continue learning. But if that skill is lacking, can we attach young people to that consultant who has come in with that unique skill, so that there is skill transfer, there is knowledge and skills development, so that we have a structured way? Because we don't want to keep people here. We want our people to grow their skills and continue to run our country. That's my view, and I believe my view is a representative of many of our engineering professionals. So I would expect government, honestly, to help us, and we come up with a structured system so that we stop having engineering professionals doing casual jobs, while foreigners, whom we don't know even their skills, because they are not actually, it's also a challenge to us. Professionals coming in migrants coming in, doing jobs, when we as an engineering professional body, we are not even aware whether they have the right skills. So we would also want to see how do we, how do we assess their skills? Are they really competent enough to come and work here? Or it is just some kind of, I don't know the right word
well,
to
you've
use.
just reminded me of someone who said that much as we have experts come, there's still so much work that our very engineers can't still do. And government brought in subcontracting. I think that helped in one way or the other. It may not be very satisfactory, but where if you're a foreigner, yes, you have this contract, but then there are specific ring-fenced works to be done by a local company here and our engineers to do that. But now let's look at this institution, the Uganda Institute of Professional Engineers.
It's an institution, not institute.
An institution. Now, let's understand very well. You're contesting to head this.
Yes.
But apart from saying it brings you together, what other benefits are there?
Yeah, I can say the benefits are many.
And why should someone yearn to be a member?
Yes, the benefits are many, like you said. First and foremost, we all need each other. No one thrives alone.
True.
So, as a professional, you need to be with the right network. Because you need mentors. You need to be mentored. Like I told you, even me at my age, I'm still learning. So as a young professional, join the Uganda Institution of Professional Engineers and be mentored so that you are able to grow in your career and you are able to get that exposure. Because many of our membership are the ones in these government ministries, are the ones who are the owners of construction firms. They know the skills you need, because there has also been like some disconnect, like some people say the industries say they are not, like you said, some people say we don't have the skills. So how will they know that you have the skills if you are not part of them? You are somewhere alone. How will people know you have the skills? So it is important that we come together, mentor and nurture each other, and be able to grow. Regularly, we hold like national technology conferences where we share papers and talk about things that matter to the engineering profession. I personally have presented papers. I think last year, the other year. I've been presenting papers in these conferences. And I think coming together, you'll be able to learn much more. Because I want to tell you, apart from you having that engineering degree, you need to grow your skills more than ever. Because the knowledge, the rapid changes in technology and in the world requires that an engineering professional is an agile person with a growth mindset, prepared for lifelong learning. So you are not going to learn in isolation. You need your fellow professionals to mentor you, to grow together. Even what we are saying that we need government to structure. If you are alone, you cannot influence government. So we need the numbers to influence government for the better of all of us, even those engineering professionals who are already there like me, even those young people, the student members. Our membership actually is almost 50% students. We have very few technicians and technologists. So technicians and technologists, you need to join so that we grow together and we form that bond that we can have a voice that can be heard by the government. Yes.
Well, before I go, when we return from this break, I just received a message from someone who said, thank you for having Engineer Annette, but please, I want to know what measures she's going to be putting in place to break the wall and the gap between the old and the young people in this profession. He went ahead and said that to be an engineer registered is very hard. Actually, let me just get it properly. Says some of us passed through a camel's needle to be registered engineers. It looks like it's intentional that they get the good jobs because they have been able to get to this. As us, we can only work for their companies. This is intended to lock out young, bright, qualified engineers in pretext that they are not registered by the governing body. That is something we shall look at when we return. Stay with us.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Welcome to Dade Nursery and Primary School, Luzira, a school that gives your child a positive learning environment that makes them feel comfortable and safe. We are a progressive year-round nursery and primary school, providing a child-centered approach to early learning, collaborative family atmosphere, and a safe, inspiring environment that encourages exploration and creativity. Dade Nursery and Primary School offers a wide range of co-curricular activities that promote teamwork, physical and mental development, including ballet, soccer, basketball, piano, and home economics. Admissions are in progress from baby class to P7, starting from the 8th of January to the 5th of February 2024. Find us at the first left turn after Oryx Service Station towards Luzira.
The energy of this land comes to life in dreams and memories. It lights up in these nights and leads us towards new horizons. It was born in the hearts of these men, of these women. The energy of this land comes from here. It comes from Africa, and it vibrates in each of us.
I'm powered by Africa.
Oryx Service Stations, powered by Africa.
Junko.
Yo.
How check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the Parish Development Model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Junko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The Parish Development Model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
The Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, the Most Reverend Dr. Stephen Samuel Kazimba Mugalu, together with the Minister of State for Ethics and Integrity, Honorable Akela Rose Lilly, with pleasure invites the general public to the 47th commemoration of the martyrdom of Archbishop Janani Luwum on Friday, 16th February 2024 at Wigweng Muchwinyi Kidgum District, under the theme Conforming to the Truth of God's Word That Transforms, derived from Romans chapter 12 verses 1 to 2. The main celebrant will be the Most Reverend Dr. Stephen Samuel Kazimba Mugalu, and the chief guest will be His Excellency General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda. The service starts at 9 a.m., organized by the Office of the President and the Directorate for Ethics and Integrity.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Welcome back from that break, and thank you for being with us on UBC TV. Robert Chirabo Nyonitono with engineer Nsimire Annette, who is also contesting for the presidency of the Uganda Institution of Professional Engineers, and they'll be voting online. There are things that are technical. Not standing in the back like we did for LC1, not a secret ballot like many go, then everyone comes out and tells you, I voted for you. You know, Honorable Semujunga, and whenever I see him on the floor of Parliament, I remember the votes he got and how many members of opposition are there. But he said everyone he was meeting was telling him, Semujunga kuwada kalulu. And I said, now I got 8 votes. Now if everyone, we are over 100, he gave me the votes. How come I only got a secret ballot? Now, but yours is going to be online, and that is from the 8th up to the 15th of next month, where members will be voting for the candidate of their choice, Engineer Annette and Simire being one of those candidates. Now, before we went for a break, the question of young engineers saying it's like a deliberate move to hinder them from registering, and of course they know the benefits of registering. They get big contracts, bigger opportunities. Now there's a predominant or dominant group of those that graduated some time back that are clinging on to and closing the doors for others. They're saying, as a president, if you get into office, how are you going to break this chain?
Okay, thank you so much, Robert. I think the fact that I'm not on the ballot paper, the chain is already broken. Because I know it, I think I'm making history as someone who joined the council a few months ago, and I'm already in a ballot paper as a presidential candidate. So the chain is already broken. It's a matter of you trusting me with your vote, and then we shall continue to create that positive change we all envision, the UIPE we all envision. Some of those questions you have said, they have been raised. I have already talked about that we need to review the registration process. It is tedious, and to me, even me, I think some of the things like the way assessment is done, for example, excuse me, our assessments, when you submit your report, it's given to an assessor, two assessors, whom you've not seen, and they are just marking you. But even in the university where we went to do engineering, I know who is lecturing me. Robert is my lecturer. He will mark me. He will set exams, he will mark me. Where I don't understand, I'll say, yeah, we did a test and I didn't do well. What is the problem? Could you guide me? As an institution, our role is to nurture. That's our mission, to nurture and promote excellence. We are there to nurture engineering professionals so that we promote engineering excellence. So if you are doing it like it's not transparent enough, how will I know where my mistakes are? You are just communicated to. So me, I think I did a master's, and my supervisors were working closely with me. By the time I appeared for the Viva course, I was good. I had that confidence that I've been nurtured well, and I will pass the Viva course. So I would want also us to review, and so those are some of the things.
Actually, my brother has just told me that the earliest it takes is 4 years.
That's what I'm saying. I talked of,
me,
we need to review that process, but also that clause of 4 years, it should also be reviewed. Just like I gave an example of doctors, 1 year intern, and you go and start practicing your medicine in hospitals. What is special about engineering? We also learn in school 4 years.
You know, you told
so
me
do we need all those
assume,
years? Let's engineers think about
I'm enjoying
it.
messages coming in on my phone. It says, Robert, you see, Bob, those assume that one mistake by an engineer, let me get it right. They assume that one mistake by an engineer can kill so many people. Now I wonder, a mistake by a doctor, can't it do so?
It does. Only that the difference is if you make a mistake like a building collapsing, many people might die. But also the doctor's mistakes are more grave. A doctor is dealing with your body directly. And we have had cases of someone found with cotton in the stomach. We've had cases of, so many things have happened. You go to remove the right leg, you remove the left leg. You know, all that experience is gained through exposure. Even I believe some doctors also, they keep learning on job. It's the same with engineers. So someone making a mistake doesn't mean this person is foolish. We all make mistakes, but we keep learning and improving on our mistakes. So engineering professionals also should be given a chance. You finished university, you do maybe 2 years, you register. And then that, you know, after registration, people are asking for the benefits. There is that confidence that comes with it. You really now do your work with confidence. You are sure that by the time you go through that sieve, you have the confidence. But making it too long doesn't make it effective. It can be short but very effective. I gave an example of when I was doing my master's. Actually, I was one of the people who finished their master's in 1 year. And the professor said in class that engineers are very intelligent. And one politician said, no, they have nothing to do. So I don't want to go into that. But I want to say, if someone is nurtured well, you don't need so many years to be a good professional. That's why I'm saying after a few months on council, I understand the challenges, I understand the opportunities, and I believe I can offer that leadership that will see our institution change for the better. I can create that impact. That
now,
we
how
look
biting
for.
is your institution? In case of bad behavior, we've had people who don't honor their contracts they make with people. Someone is abroad, hires someone, contracts someone to build a house, makes payments, and they don't either have the right design also. How biting is this institution?
I can say as an institution, if you bring a case to us, we have a team of educators whom we normally assign to look into those things. And of course, if you are a member of our institution, there are penalties, yes. So we take professionalism very seriously, and we would want our engineering professionals, honestly, to live the values, because one of our values is responsibility to the public. Like I said, the sectors will develop, our economy will develop, our communities will develop with our input, but we must also be responsible in our work. But you see, when we don't regulate, and there are so many quacks who are not known, then when they make mistakes, the mistakes are counted on us. But also, now you find it makes it like somehow irrelevant for our people, because they find even these guys who are not even members, who are not regulated, they're even doing better than us. You get it? So it somehow discourages. So I think we need to beef up in that area to make sure that the sector is well regulated and we remove the quacks. Yes.
Well, I love the word remove the quacks. When I look at time, it seems to be flying. I just want to give you, engineer, about 3 or less minutes for you to give us your concluding remarks.
Okay. As I conclude today, I want to call upon all engineering professionals to rally behind me so that we address our pain points. I know we have so many pain points. We have so many things people are complaining about. One of them being inclusivity. But I believe together we shall create the UIPE, the Uganda Institution of Professional Engineers, where everyone can be seen, where everyone can be heard. So let's move together. Where we have made mistakes, forgive us. We are human and we make mistakes. But I want to tell you that the only way we can work better is to get united, have the numbers, so that we can be able to influence the government positively and be able to get what we feel is what our membership needs. So we need to work together with our membership and the management, all our different structures, the branches, the secretariat. Let's work together for the good of our membership. Even if it is one person who has sent a message, but let's recognize that that voice represents many voices. That's what I want to believe. So let's not be silent about things that matter. I want to leave you with a quote of Martin Luther King Jr. He said that in the end, we shall remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. So let's not be silent about the things that matter to the profession. Let's speak up. Let's find ways that we can harmonize, review where we need to review. The act is very old. The constitutions are always reviewed. We are living in a dynamic world. So let's not be static and say, this is how we have always done things. We can do differently. All the young people out there who have just become graduate members, vote for me. We shall shape together the UIPE we envision. Finally, I want to introduce myself fully. I told them, Robert, that I don't remember talking about myself other than the profession. I am married and a mother of 4, 2 boys and 2 girls. And I want to say thank you for the support I get from my family.
Well, since yesterday was Valentine's, well, you can even have your Valentine wishes to the chosen one.
I want to say, no, I know my husband, Engineer Caps, is watching. And okay, thanks for standing with me for the 28 years we've been together. Yes.
So
I
it's a
love
family
you,
of
I love my
engineers.
family. Yes.
He's also an engineer.
Yes.
So that's 1 vote already. Well, I must let Engineer Annette out of the studios. Thank you so much for being part of the show right from 6:30 when we began with Good Morning Uganda and then an extension of Good Morning Uganda Extra. Very important, every weekday, make it a date with us from 6:30 because we are here to spice up your morning with relevant information, some jokes, smiles here and there, and why not have that heavy breakfast because you get to know what is happening locally and internationally. I'm Robert Chirabonyonitono, wishing you the very best of your day for God and my country.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Get value for your money by choosing the right paint. With Global Paints, you don't just paint, but paint for generations to come. Make Global Paints a paint of choice and make your building a paradise. We have weather coat emulsion, undercoat emulsion, silk vinyl emulsion, flat emulsion, super gloss, and high gloss. Global